Not yet. So you're going to have to go through this editing now.
Why?
Well, you want to record all this crap. You're going to have to dig through it for the gold now. It's like picking snot.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you the story about the very attractive woman on the bus?
No.
Whenever I first moved back to Pittsburgh?
No.
All right, so I was working at Mellon Bank, which is a funny story in and of itself, because I lived in Arizona and I applied for a job at Mellon Bank, and they're like, you know the job's in Pittsburgh, right? I'm like, yeah, I hear so many good things about your company, I figure it's worth the commute. I was like, no, actually, I'm moving back to Pittsburgh, and I figured, it'd be great to have a job lined up whenever I get back. But anyway, so I would ride the bus every day to work, and there was this very attractive young woman. You might want to twist it so that the leg's underneath the... What? If you have the leg like right underneath the arm, it'll support it better. Oh, I got you. Physics.
I'm a fucking combat engineer.
That's what I figured. I was like,
get him some gum in a file. All right, so you're on the bus with this hot chick.
Yeah, and she's very attractive, and I just moved back. I'm single. I'm young. I was svelte.
It's like I'm single, ready to mingle.
I was svelte back then. I wasn't this enormous beast that I am today. And
this is before the peyote prophecy came true.
This is well after the peyote. Yeah, this is before the peyote prophecy came true. Yes. So we're riding on the bus, and she's dressed in this very smart business dress. She's got the jacket and the skirt, and she looks good. She's got the makeup on. She's got the jewelry. She's all done up. She's quite attractive. Very professional looking.
So she was hot.
So exactly. And I'm casting a glance over, and she's not really noticing that I'm looking at her. So I'm just catching, glance over here. And all of a sudden,
oh no,
she starts digging for gold.
No.
Like really, like she's excavating for gold. She's going deep.
It's the mucus queen.
Yes. She's up there for a while. She's up there for a while, and she finally apparently finds what she's looking for.
Okay.
And she pulls it out, and she looks at it.
Oh no.
For a little while, and I'm enthralled by this because I'm like, this is not what this is not what I'm expecting to occur. And she begins to roll it between the thumb and the forefinger because you want to get rid of the excess liquid and build it into a consistency that you can deal with.
And you want to have a good profile.
Yes, and she's testing it. She's testing it, but with the thumb and forefinger separation.
It needs to be dense. Yeah. It needs to be dense.
Right. And she gets it to where she wants it. She looks at it. It's like from a couple of different angles. She's
in my mind,
turning
it's shaped like a torpedo right now.
It is shaped like a torpedo. She's looking at it. It's good.
It's past the inspection.
It has. It's met her expectations. So then she eats it.
Did you clap? I would have given her a round of applause.
I was so
baby!
I was so stunned. I did nothing.
You're like,
except
did I just have a fucking peyote flashback?
I'm like,
I was going to ask you out, but fuck you. You need a breath mint.
Exactly.
Here's a
I'm like,
brush.
I knew you in second grade, and your name was Joey, and you were a boy. Yeah, that was my.
That's what you call the attractive lady on the bus story?
Yes. She was damn attractive.
The subtitle was, I thought she was attractive.
Until she ate her booger.
But she's not.
But she's not.
I don't know what is in this fucking drink that you made me drink. That John,
you're drinking a Red Horse.
I am completely fucking plastered right now.
You are now entering the world of Musings of a Geek podcast network. Stay geeky, my friends.
Music. Horror.
Welcome to Society 13.
His eardrums were scientifically altered for world peace. His ears are more finely tuned than yours or mine. He can listen to a podcast from a mile away. He is the most dedicated podcast fan in the world. I do not always listen to podcasts, but when I do, I prefer the Tangent-Bomb Network. Keep listening, my friends.
Stigmata Studios is proud to welcome a new sponsor, Audible.com. You can download a free audiobook. Audible has a ton of titles to choose from. Join for free today for 30 days and pay just $14.95 as a member. Get a bestseller every month, exchange the books that you do not love, and cancel. Easy, anytime. So you can go to www.audibletrial.com/Red Horse Radio or follow the link in the show notes. Thank you.
Can you talk into the mic, please? I can't hear you.
I got Diet Coke. I got Coke Zero. I got Diet Pepsi. I got Nelson W. Pyles. Whatever you want.
You cannot drink me.
Well, that's what she said.
I'll
No,
have
she
the.
said she was willing to.
Give me the one with booze in it.
No, any of them can have booze in it.
Can you talk into the microphone, please?
Any of them can have booze in it.
Thank you. I'll have the whiskey, please.
Okay. Hand me the empty glass over there. Here. Would you like ice?
I still do the mason jar.
Bam!
I still do
Would
that.
you like ice?
Please. I guess I can't have any.
Oh, yeah, I probably
That
should
was
have got
the
a
look of
refill.
an empty ice bucket.
What's the difference between liking ice and getting ice?
John Towers. Fucking stole all the ice.
There's more downstairs. When we take a break,
The recipe is intact for the ice.
Which type of mix?
Coke Zero, please.
I thought so.
He knows all of our drinking preferences. He ran it down for me when I got here. It's pretty amazing.
He's a button-down mind.
I just care about my guests.
Yeah, all right, man.
Thank you.
See, that's why I never had guests on my show.
You don't give a fuck.
If you all close your eyes, you can see all the fucks I gave about guests on my show.
I have guests on your show.
You do.
I have Dacre Stoker saying, "This is Dacre Stoker, the great grandnephew of Bram Stoker, and this is the Wicked Library."
Does he say Bram or Bram?
Or Bram, or whatever he says.
It's short for
Fucking nobody cares.
I've had a few things to drink here tonight.
It's short for Abraham. I always thought it was Bram. I don't know.
Abraham Lincoln, vampire killer.
He was. He killed himself.
talking about?
All right, welcome to Red Horse Radio. This is John Towers. Red Horse Radio is the official podcast of the Stigmata Studios. Stigmata Studios is a comic book company. We do comic books.
Hell yeah.
Red Horse Radio is the official podcast. It's where we pour a few drinks, have a few, in this case, a few friends over to someone else's studio.
Party in somebody else's house.
Party in somebody else's house.
and goof off for a little bit and delve into the fine lost art of conversation in the Night Story studio, which is where we're recording today. I know that you're a sucker for sound.
Well,
It's
your show, man. You can do whatever you want. You want to run the AC, go for it.
Dan Foytik. Dan is a podcaster. He is in charge of the Ninth Story, and he is the new guy over at the Wicked Library.
Yes, I'm the new guy.
We also have Nelson W. Pyles, who is the old guy at the Wicked Library.
Damn straight he is.
Nelson is a writer, and these guys are no strangers to the show. You're also like knee deep into audiobook narration.
Absolutely.
So we'll get to links and stuff later for you guys. First time guest on the show, Steve Matiko. Steve, hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
Awesome. Thanks for coming down, man. I love having you here. I know we, in passing, always try to get you on. You are working with the Night Story to do their graphics, and you've taken over the role of the main artist for Victoria, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
The comic that you did was pretty cool.
Thank you.
Was that your first comic?
Yeah. First, I mean, I've done stuff for myself that no one will ever see. But
and I've done stuff to myself.
Hey, that's an art form as well.
That no one will ever know about.
There's a whole art behind that. And but he couldn't come with me, so ever.
You can come by yourself.
Ever.
But it's in the trunk.
He could never come with me.
Now you're a musician. You in a band currently?
Yeah, sorta. Sure.
Yeah.
I'll say yes.
Oh, cool.
In case one of them listens.
We're looking for a guitar player actually. So
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean we're.
So if you're a guitar player, you're willing to do anything to make it big, and you're
I
listening.
can play a keyboard.
Find another band.
I can play a keyboard and make it sound like a guitar.
If you want to make it big,
Well, isn't that the joke? Like, isn't that
Touch yourself.
Isn't that what Kiss put in the news?
That was their ad when they were looking for a guitar player.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're willing to do anything to make it big.
You know, the thing about Kiss is, if you're willing to do anything to make it big,
I knew that was coming.
so did I.
So, congratulations on the comic.
Thank you.
I really
Thank you.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
I have his work tattooed on my flesh, too, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whip it out. Have you seen this yet?
And then let's see the tattoo.
Yeah. So there's this, and here's the tattoo of Victoria Bigglesworth Hayes tattooed in my flesh.
Now, were you questioned by the tattoo artist of like, hey, I'd like to have this mythical little girl tattooed on my arm?
He's like, that sounds like a great idea.
He was
Whatever
like-
you want to pay me to do, I will put on your body.
That's what I was thinking.
What do you-
$75 an hour, whatever. Just what?
It is a really, really cool tattoo, though.
It is, and he's a great artist himself, so that was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Eric Sharp tattoos.
I
Ask for
thought
it
you were
by
talking
name.
about me for a minute.
Well, you're a great artist as well. You know, I mean, he took your image and did that little transfer thing where they transfer the lines onto your flesh, and then he traced it, and then did his own little interpretation as well. So
Yeah.
she came out good.
Turns out, yeah. Do you have any tats, Nelson?
No, I have real scars.
We can get that. We can get that dude on your arm if you want.
I was like, you know what? That's an automatic answer. So it just kind of comes out and pops out. No offense. I'm actually overdue for ink. So
Yeah.
Would you like
by 10
librarian on
years.
your flesh?
No, I would not. But that
He's
is a
fucking
very
scary as
that
shit.
is a really great rendition of the librarian. So,
thank you.
And I'm actually very glad to meet you because that whole series leading up to the transfer of the passing of the microphone, so to speak, it was a really great job, man.
Yeah, I was a little worried about it because and you can ask Dan. I went back and forth. I was like, I don't know how to make this guy look. And he let me listen to some recordings, of his voice, which really helps a lot. I wish I'm going to give Dan some of the first renditions because he's very Joker-esque,
Yeah.
very Joker-esque, and because Dan's like, well, we want to hide his face, so we're going to hide his face in the first few images or whatever. So, but for me, I have to draw it out.
You have
And
to
then-
know. You have to
yeah.
know what you're obscuring.
I got to
right?
know what I'm hiding, so I drew like 6 or 7.
I know
different
what the
versions.
librarian looks like.
So ultimately, without giving anything away, I guess, but ultimately, I went to like a rendition of like it was the Joker, the tall man from Phantasm.
Yeah.
Who else did I say?
The dude from
Poltergeist 2.
Poltergeist.
Yeah, Kane.
Yeah.
Kane was a
Kane, yeah, absolutely.
The Lord is in his holy
Holy
temple.
temple.
which
Where's the tequila?
I think didn't Tom Hardy play Kane in the new Poltergeist?
The
I pulled the tequila out for those that can't see.
Caroline,
Come to the light, you bitch.
stay away from the light.
No, come to the light.
you were only born in the no. I
Because
fucked
to
it
me,
all.
Tom Hardy plays everything as Bane.
Right.
So.
Yeah, for real. That's the way it should be.
He
So
brought me a mask for the studio.
nice.
I'm going to put that on. We'll just wear that for the rest of the show.
Great. I can't wait.
We're all sitting here with with bated breath.
Steve, Dan walked in with it, and Nelson was like, "Is that your fucking CPAP mask?"
No, this is Batman, Ben. Hello, can you hear me now? It doesn't work very well with the microphone.
It didn't work well on film either.
So how long would it take
You
you?
feel in charge?
How long would it take you to do like that original, like a normal comic book page size?
If I really just sat down and worked on it, maybe a week.
Yeah.
I could probably do that in a week.
And then it's funny because I was looking at the early, like I got an early shot of the picture that you drew of me and my wrestling gear,
Yeah.
which was really cool. I was like, oh, he didn't make me fat at all. This is awesome.
Well, I went real. I told Dan, I said, I drew John initially. I said, I went real Hulk Hogan's rock and wrestling.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, you big shoulders and stuff. But, and then, so do you ink it or do you just scan it in and run like filters or something over it?
The panels I did with actually did with charcoal pencil.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I did all that with charcoal pencil, and then I scanned it in and I added a little comic bookish effect.
I could tell that it wasn't like straight up pencil and ink, like traditional style.
And
so
I
I'm
wanted
like
to-
trying to figure out how the fuck you did it.
I wanted the first. I wanted the first like panels. I told Dan. I said, "Well, what I want to do with this then is because he's like free run, however you want to draw it." So I wanted to do Victoria very roughly cartoony, and then gradually change it into a little more. And I actually ended up aging her a little bit, and I didn't intend to do that, but like when she was around the librarian, I wanted her to look a little more
like she's been through a journey,
Yeah.
kind of.
like I wanted her to look a little more like.
I'm sorry, that's my vibrator. Go on.
That's fine. I knew it.
I'm sitting like this.
I know that model. Remember, in the instance of a dildo, it's never your dildo. It's always
Right,
a dildo.
It's
But yeah, I wanted to make so. I knew once she was in a panel with the librarian, I wanted her to be kind of like look a little more confident. I think is what I initially said to Dan. So
Yeah.
but I wanted her to be kind of like, ooh, what am I doing? What am I looking for? So I wanted her to look a little more like younger, and I wanted it to be a little more cartoony. And then as the panels went.
I think what I find really appealing about the final panel is the sheer look of like, oh, what a great place this is on Victoria's face. It's just like, because everybody else would be shitting ponies, and she's like, oh, this is great.
Right, and I wanted her to have a look on like, everyone was kind of stopping her throughout the whole thing. So I wanted her to be kind of like, oh, that's nice, but I know what I need.
Right.
I know where I'm going. I know what it's good. Kind of like when you walk into Best Buy, they won't leave you alone.
Yeah.
So at the end of it, I kind of be like, yeah.
Weirdly,
okay.
I have the exact opposite. Like, whenever I go into Best Buy, it's like I've got to fucking tackle someone to fucking talk to me.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we do not have the I'm receptive face whenever nearly anywhere we go.
Well, when I worked, I tell you, this is a difference too. When I worked at National
This is my
Real
favorite
Estate,
right here. This panel.
I do like that.
Just the expression on Nelson's face and the little surprise lines. Whenever she
And I
has
put you in
Stitch.
the librarian suit.
Yeah, I saw
Ah,
that.
that's cool.
Very cool.
Little hint.
And I don't know why your fingers are extremely like. I don't.
Because the librarian's
I just
fingers
did
were
it,
supposed to
and
be
I was
very
like,
long.
It looked cool to me.
Yeah. So you
Did you notice the reins in your hand?
the who?
Yeah, you're holding the reins of the.
The chess piece. It's very
chess
subtle.
Yeah, no, I did not notice that. I do want to thanks for the my book plug.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's all.
The Jin Jihad. The Jin Jihad.
Dan's like, look, you got something in your hand, and I'm like, oh my god, it's my book.
It's my book, man.
One of the things that kind of just fell out like a loose poop.
Was your book.
No, it was the Sasquatch drawing that because I really didn't know what. I'm like, how am I? Whatever. How am I going to draw Sasquatch?
Yeah.
You just draw a picture of Tony. You're done.
Well, tell them what it is, because I thought that was very interesting.
What?
Who you used as the model for the Sasquatch?
I don't remember. What did I say?
You told me it was the creature from.
The thing from.
Never ending story.
Yes.
No. Well, that too.
part of it, but Creep Show.
Oh,
It's
the
the
crate.
creature that
Oh,
was
the
in
thing
the
under the
crate.
stairs.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
tell it to call
But
you
he's a
Billy.
little happier than that.
He's a little bit more personable.
But I kind of
And he's wearing headphones. And he's reaching for the Jin Jihad.
Aren't we all?
He's leaning. He's just leaning on the. He's very tall.
Yeah. God, that was such a great story in Creepshow.
Oh.
The Arctic Expedition is probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
With Adrienne Barbeau.
Oh yeah.
Go help him, Bobby.
She's like, no, come on in here.
that line is just like, just tell it to call you Billy.
Yeah,
I was
Billy,
like,
that's what it
fucking yes.
So, okay, so you have the pencils or the charcoal drawing, and you're scanning it in, and then are you adding color to it behind there? Like, are you using grayscales, or are you tricking it somehow?
I actually added the color.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, Steve and I talked about it, and then once it was finally done, I added a little bit of color to it.
So you just multiply your layer and threw some color underneath it? Yeah.
So, like, if you look at the first strip, the only thing that has color is her bows and her pigtails at the very end. Mm-hmm. And there's a little bit of foreshadowing there because the rows are 5 and 6, and then you have the ghost face is there, and then you
Ghost
have
face killer.
Yeah, and then as you move on, she gets a little more color, and there's the thing that's in the darkness, dwelling in the dark, and she doesn't want any of that. She's looking for something she can actually read. He's trying to sell her records, and there's a little thing that's right here. I don't know if you caught it, but this is Just Fucking Coffee, our sponsor for the show.
Right, yeah.
I had to put it. I love that.
Yeah.
And then we move on to the next panel. So we have John and Tony Rosick, and then we have Jessica McHugh showing up, and then the big reveal is Nelson with Stitch, and then the final piece is the cover with the librarian talking to her.
And I want to say this: the hardest thing with the cover was with doing color. Was putting any kind of color in there because I hadn't done it.
Okay,
any of it, so I was like,
so you did the color for the
yes.
cover, yeah.
Yeah, that's all Steve did the whole the only thing that I did was add the top where it says the Wicked Library, the issue 9. I made it look like a comic book. Okay. So basically all this stuff is all Steve. I added the dialogue and
the label,
stole the little circles from the way that Creepshow used to do theirs.
Yeah, it's and they took it from EC Comics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. From back in the day.
Good old Bill Gaines.
Yeah. You could totally see it. I mean, it totally reads like that. And, I mean, the art is way different from their kind of style, but the way it's laid out, I mean, it really works, man. Where can the people that are listening to this, where can they go to see this?
There is I'll give you a link to put in your show, but it's over at www.ninthstory.com. And it's one of the links that says, I think it says something like, Victoria looks for a new story or something like that.
Okay.
But I'll give you a direct link that you can drop in.
All right, cool. Yeah, you're the only second other comic book guy I've ever heard on the show. Oh. Which is weird since it's kind of like what I do.
That's what you do.
Yeah. Well, I've divorced the local Pittsburgh indie comic scene because those guys, I'm like, fuck them. Right?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's tremendous. Fantastic.
So, we like to get a little weird here in the show. God, it sounds so different. And I was wondering if you guys had heard about this Charlie challenge.
What?
I just recently heard about it.
Yeah, like apparently it's actually come to our area now, and like they're sending notes home with their kids, telling them like they're doing this thing in the school. So what it is it's this. They are summoning a Mexican demon using like this makeshift Ouija board game.
What?
Yeah, it's like a cross with.
I think Victoria would have a few things to say about that it's not
Seriously?
necessarily a good idea.
Yeah. So what they do is they draw like an axis on a page and they say yes or no, yes or no.
Is it like the little things you used to do with your fingers when you were...
No, you lay it flat and you put a pencil down one of the lines and then another pencil on top of that pencil with the other line. And you like ask it a question and the way it like bobbles around or whatever, it like answers you. Ah. But the thing is like they're saying that...
We need to write this story.
They're saying that because it's, they're evoking... I don't know why it's Mexican. I'm not really sure about that part.
Hello, senor. I will tell you a story. Maybe you would like some beans and they will jump for you.
That's racist.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. This show is intended for people that have a functioning fucking sense of humor. If you don't want to listen to this shit anyway. Dumbasses.
Wow.
All right.
That's Red Horse Radio.
It's a fucking joke, asshole. Not you.
I was going to say, like, hey.
Whoever's listening.
He's
the-
like,
Oh, that's
he's like,
not nice.
Not you.
It's
not
for,
you.
It's for the
Fuck
guy that's.
you.
It's for
Not
the guy.
you.
It's for the guy that's listening.
Not
That's offended.
you.
Okay, you, sir. You, the one that's listening. That's offended. I'm talking to you. Go fuck yourself.
The views expressed by Dan Foytik
Are only mine. I do not represent Red Horse Radio. I represent only me.
Okay, so
So anyway.
Send your complaints to I'm a whiny baby with no sense of humor at ninthstory.com.
Hey, man.
Real email
I'm very
address.
offended by your words, man.
Hey,
You
senor.
don't know nothing about me, man.
Miñaco. Binchi hue.
I fucking kill you, man.
All right.
Muchos pinos en enos.
Even. Just, oh, yeah.
I have no words.
I don't even know what to do after that.
No fucking words.
I was
I almost went into a
highest rated
Scarface
episode.
impersonation, but that's not. He's Cuban. That's not.
Yeah,
even
I was like, what? I was like, I was like,
You're
what?
mixing your racism.
Even I'm fucking offended by what you say, man.
What are you dragging the Cubans into this now?
You're mixing your racism.
I have to.
You
It's
fucking
delicious.
asshole.
You put a little bit of racism in a glass and you mix it together with some ice cubes and some rum. It's
a little
delicious.
bit of racism in your soul. A little
I was waiting for
Mambo
we-
number 6.
You know,
I was waiting for
we
you to
all
chime in
bigots.
with the pumpkin head thing.
Pancake.
I'm
I did
Morgan.
say it. I actually. I just think if you're going to conjure a demon, it's like a Mexican demon. I think the best thing in the world is like, is Charlie going to die tomorrow? And like the pen gets up and writes K because it's Mexican demon.
Okay.
And I'm like, why does it have, like, what's the difference between a Mexican demon and like your run of the mill demon? Does it got like a sombrero and a poncho on? Or?
It likes tequila.
How do I stop this? How do I stop this?
You can't.
Oh, how's it going,
It's broken.
My name's Bob. I'm a Canadian demon. Like they're location specific. It's like,
Ethnic
hello,
demons.
I'm Carlos. I will be your translation demon this evening.
Okay, so since they're like summoning forth a demon and they're not like banishing it or getting rid of it once they're done playing the game, all these weird things are happening to these kids like afterwards. This is like people's like Siris. Like there's the Siri on their phones will start talking to them and like bumping on like automatically.
Does it speak in a Mexican accent?
I don't think that's the case.
Hello,
does Siri do
senor.
that?
Would you like some beans?
That's
It still speaks in English. It just has a Mexican accent.
Like, it's, like the phone just comes on and goes. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Hey, senor.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is gonna be
Jesus Marimba.
This is going to be the
My
highest
goodness.
rated episode of Red Horse Radio ever. People are going to be writing you tons of
like,
letters.
I'm like, well, I already got a fatwa out against me, so
Right, why not?
Yeah.
Yes.
See.
How's your sister? Your sister? So
What?
he got it. That's right.
So,
Hi, Fiends. It's Dave. I'd like to apologize for Dan's Dan's thing about the thing he said, but we can't talk about that right now.
so head on over to Fairly Doc and Doc Tom.
Why is Dave getting heat?
No, he's not getting heat. We're just picking.
We're just plugging him.
So that reminded me, like, do you guys remember or have you heard, like, when Siri was predicting the opening of the gates to hell?
No.
What?
Google search it real quick. There's
Siri predicts the
opening of the gates of hell.
All right,
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's
Hold
real.
on.
Yes, Satan, it
Let me
is.
shut that off.
All right, so
say hello. Turn left into hell.
so do you think at this? So while Dan is looking up the Siri gates of hell,
Siri predicts the opening of the gates of hell.
that's fantastic. Isn't that the name of the next Kiss album?
You know, the thing about it,
Yeah,
the thing
they'd
about the
have
gates
to-
of hell is
He'd have to
yeah.
split money or something with Apple. He's not going to do that shit.
Siri, what happens on January 13th, 2014?
You don't have any events on your calendar for next Monday.
What is January 13th, 2014?
It's Monday, January 13th, 2014, birth of the prophet.
What is July 27th, 2014?
It's Sunday, July 27th, 2014, opening gates of Hades.
Opening gates of Hades.
What is September 3rd, 2014?
It's Wednesday, September 3rd, 2014, closing gates of Hades.
Oh, we didn't miss it, or is this for last year?
Like I was saying, this has been changed.
Oh, it's 2014. We missed it.
Oh, fuck.
The gates of hell opened.
No family reunion this year.
I happen to think they opened a long time ago.
Also known as the day of bloodletting Satan's ritual.
Yeah, see?
Oh, yeah.
Indian legends say the blue kachina is the dog star Sirius.
Why is it an Indian legend? Is it like...
I do not know what this problem is.
Not that kind of Indian legend.
Do not be taking the beans and the beansy ways. I do not be liking the tacos. You come to my country and we will tell you many, many stories.
Hello, Fiends. This is Dave. Kettles Radio.
Breaking in again.
I'd like to apologize for Dan saying stuff about, I guess, Indians. I don't know.
I guess Indians.
I guess.
I accept your apology. That's not right either.
It's like my favorite part of every Kettle Whistle Radio is the cold intro. Where he's like, "This is Dave. Fell down a flight of stairs. Just woke up. Today's show. Ms. D wakes me up." Here we go. And it sucks. I wanted to do because I wanted to.
Go ahead, John.
Go on. Anyway,
this is your show. Go on. What do you got?
We've taken over.
Okay, so from the intro, what part of the art of conversation exactly is eluding this room right now?
We've had too much to drink.
Come on, prick. Leave it alone.
So, what are your thoughts? Like, what are your thoughts on it? What if, like, one of your kids came home and was like, "Hey, I played Charlie today, and here's how you do." Would you be like, "Get that shit out of my house! I don't want none of these."
First,
Mexican
I'd punch them in the
demons."
face.
You pick one child up and hit the other one with it.
Because they know the routine when they have questions. Get in line.
Take a number.
Now, honestly, I don't
got my own
like
questions.
Ouija boards. I don't let them in my house.
Yeah.
So if they did that, they're idiots.
Okay.
I mean, that's how I'd feel. I'd be like, whatever, just don't do it here.
All right.
You know?
Next time you go to Steve's house, bring a Ouija board in your backpack.
I've had some bad experiences.
Ooh.
Yeah? You know what? This might be an interesting topic to explore.
All right. Well, let Nelson close out.
I got one
on
downstairs.
Let Nelson close out on the Charlie thing, and then we're going to move into Ouija board territory over here.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So
I'll go get it. Victoria will talk to y'all. She doesn't need a board.
I'm hearing her the whole time.
He's like, y'all.
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 It's like, wait.
Hey, man.
Victoria will talk to y'all.
She gonna talk to y'all.
Hi, y'all.
Peppers.
So, Nelson.
Yes, John. How are you, sir? It's good to see you.
So, what are your thoughts on this thing? Like,
it is likely bullshit. And
says the horror writer.
Well, yeah. It's likely bullshit. But Dan said something in context a little earlier, which is spot on. I mean, depending on the amount of energy you put into something, you can pretty much conjure something into occurring. So if you have a bunch of overexcited 9-year-olds thinking
this is like the lighter than the feather thing.
Yes.
Right.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
You know, it's, you know,
Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
If you get enough people, you know, believing in scared shitless, you know, I mean, nothing makes a believer out of anyone in being scared shitless. And at 9, you're almost predisposed to be in that position.
Yeah, you're to swear. I swear to God, I saw something or I heard something.
Right, absolutely. I mean, it's the same thing like a snipe hunt when you're in scouts and shit. It's like, oh, see it over there, and then people are seeing all sorts of shit.
Now that's funny.
So even if we're not talking about like actually summoning, a dark Mexican spirit or demon.
No, do not summon.
You know, honest to God, here's the thing. Here's what I think happens. I think they're summoning a demon, and he's not Mexican. He's fucking pissed off, that he's being summoned down there in Mexico.
Okay.
Season.
And that's why shit's going bad.
He's like, how far away am I from Tijuana? Because that's where I want to be.
Exactly.
But even like if we're not talking about like literally like some kind like a demon, like there's psychological impacts on that.
Well, yeah,
Like,
and I think, but I mean,
I'm more curious about where it started. Like, who came up with it? Who said that this is a thing?
Slender Man.
I don't know. It was actually there. I got it from an article that was on the independentco.uk.
Okay.
But it's funny because before I read that online today, I had a really brief conversation with somebody who was telling me that they were sending here in a location around here. I don't know exactly like where Beaver Falls or something.
Yeah.
They were sending their kids home with these notes to their parents saying, "Hey, this is happening in your school," because of like the spiritual implications, I guess, of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Some old guy was
on sale now.
If you buy this Ouija board, you'll go right to hell.
That guy from Friday the 13th was like, "It's got a death curse." But
bought it at the same place where they bought Gizmo.
At the flea market.
Yeah, right.
In the same place they bought Gizmo.
You're gonna die.
God
But
damn
anyway,
it, you're dead.
Regardless of those warnings, he bought it.
Jimmy Stewart. You're
I don't
gonna
know, like,
die.
and then like I used to mess around with it by myself, which you're not supposed to do, I guess. But I don't know. I don't really remember
Did you
that.
fuck
Like
the Ouija board?
No.
You thought about it.
I am now.
No more drinks for Dan.
Kind of sad.
He said he messed around with it. That's the first thing that popped in. Like, oh yeah. I'll pour some wine for the
You're a
Ouija
sick
board.
bastard.
Light some candles. Summon a demon.
Like I got time for that. Just
Summon
get
a
my
demon.
shit done and go to
Take
sleep.
a bubble bath.
Ouija board, go make me a sandwich.
Do my dishes.
Sorry, that's Dave Fairhead. He takes a bubble bath whenever he's summoning demons.
But yeah, so I used to mess around with this thing in a clean way.
I'm
Dan.
Not saying anything.
And
Only the second knuckle.
I don't know. I remember like I thought it moved. I thought it was I don't know. I don't really like. I was young.
It moved a little bit.
I was probably like 11 or so, and then I remember I got real sick. Really, like as soon as I stopped playing with it, I got real sick. I was in the hospital for a little while.
Oh wow.
Well, I mean, you can conjure that.
That's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
it could
It's
have
a
been me.
psychosomatic state. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And I agree
fool
with
yourself
that.
into it.
I agree with that. I don't know why I got real high there.
And
Yes! About that.
It's true. Well, I mean, just because something's
I got real
psychosomatic,
high.
I mean, it doesn't disparage the reality of something supernatural.
Right. It doesn't make it any
floating
less.
around.
It doesn't make it any less real. You know.
Right. It's like there's a great line in The Stand. With
Just one?
with Mother. Well, there's tons of them, but the one that's relevant. The one that's relevant is when Mother Abigail's talking to Nick, and Nick's like, "I don't believe in God," and she's like, "Well, it's okay. You don't have to. He believes in you."
Yeah.
It's like you don't have to believe there's something that goes bump in the night. It's gonna fucking go bump in the night anyway.
Yeah.
With or without your involvement
Right.
or your attention to it. So it's very possible that it could be maybe.
Well, I think
It could be like the Selma Hayek of demons is fucking with school children, making their little drawings and stuff, or
Lucky
maybe
bastard.
Satanica Diablo.
yes,
Means like a fighting chicken.
Andre, arriba.
So
Chingate, se puta madre.
yeah. So there, I don't even think you have to like go to like. I don't even really think you have to like go to God or demons or devils. Like I think it could be like a way just to like plumb your deep psychology. Like a similar way as like Jungians use tarot card archetypes to do that kind of stuff. I think it's just another way. Like if two kids are sitting there with the Ouija board with the little oracle and it starts like talking to them, it's really just a way that they're just talking to themselves, kind of.
right.
They're saying what they wanted to say.
Well, and it could even
In a
be
sense, or-
it
It's
could be
subconscious.
subconsciously,
Right.
Yeah.
Or
the
the universe
if you're doing
is-
that. I mean, and you're a kid. I agree with that. You want it to do something.
Yeah,
So
I remember
it's gonna happen.
I remember just wishing that it would fucking just move, and you know, it just wanted like it's not doing anything, and all of a sudden it starts, and then you're like, okay, well here now you got to do a bullshit check with the person that you're working with, right? Like, is this the kind of
you're never gonna know.
Is this the kind of motherfucker that's gonna do this to me? Probably,
Likely, very likely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And subconsciously, maybe they don't know they're doing it. Maybe they think he's doing it.
Yeah.
And then the other person's like, they're doing it.
Or we're slightly evolved monkeys on a planet that's circling around a sun that's flying through the universe at millions of miles an hour.
It's
and
only-
we have no idea what's really going on in the world.
Well, that's true.
It's a planet's a circle.
You're
so full of it.
So did you guys hear about the 9 brains found outside of the
What? 9? What? How many? 9?
brains?
I just like the number 9.
They found 9 disembodied brains laying on the ground next to a railroad track.
Was that in the article? Disembodied brains?
They're just brains just laying there.
That's funny to me.
Counting the letters in New York.
Go ahead.
7.
And the funny thing about the article is they're talking about like where these brains could have come from.
Just like a bucket of brains.
Yeah, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Like, it's not a murder scene. There's just 9 brains laying there.
There you go.
Random.
9 brains for you, friend.
You look concerned.
That's just bizarre.
Yeah, that's why we're talking
Was it
about
at
it.
City Hall?
That's what we're talking about.
Was this at City Hall
It's
Station?
bizarre that you're not like who's investigating? Homicide? No.
No one. They're just like 9 brains.
They're like, well,
They could have been stolen.
It's too
I guess.
weird. It's clear that it's not they're not murders, right? They're just 9 brains sitting there. So they're like, well, what we think happened is since it's next to a railroad track, that it was like a collection of brains that fell off the train
Possible transporting stuff to like a medical
for like a
facility.
collector. They say that there's such a thing as a collector's market for brains.
Yeah.
What is this, Guardians of the Galaxy
I
now?
don't know, man. It's so weird. But the main reason I'm talking about it is because the article had this sentence in it, and it's
Oh, please.
I believe it's brilliant. Let me find it.
Wow.
It says, mishaps with preserved brains are not uncommon.
That needs to be on a T-shirt.
That's fantastic.
That's the
That's
best
like-
thing ever. That's awesome.
And you know who would agree with them? Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He would say, Abby?
And Steve
Abby
Martin.
who?
Abby somebody. Oh my god.
The
that's
man with
awesome.
9 brains.
Damn.
Are you telling me I put an abnormal brain in the body of a 7-foot-tall gorilla?
Wait, do you need to read that sentence again?
Yes, please, for everyone.
Okay, here it goes. This is referring to the matter of the 9 disembodied brains that were found laying on the ground.
Disembodied. Were they in jars or were they just
No,
brains?
just- okay, so
No
That's
packaging.
even weirder.
No packaging.
Just out there.
Go ahead.
from what I understand, they're just out there. I imagine that if they fell off the train, it would have broken the bottle anyways.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Okay, look, this is not CSI. I didn't do a whole lot of research.
There are no
I read the
9
fucking
clues
article.
are not just for you.
That's a phenomenal sentence.
Okay, here we go. Mishaps with preserved brains are not uncommon.
That's fantastic.
I want to know the sentence that follows that.
Nothing. It was just in between 2 paragraphs.
That's fantastic.
So the last little bit of news I have, and then we're going to wrap this sucker up, is here you go. Kenyan man, who's a lawyer,
Oh, that's funny right away.
yeah, offers 50 cows, 70 sheep, and 30 goats for Mila Obama's hand in marriage.
Roasted goat.
Yeah.
Roasted goat.
He will not accept anything under 45 goats.
You have
okay?
to have at least 45 goats.
You know what? If you don't have 45 goats, get the fuck off of my lawn.
Seriously.
That's,
Who doesn't know
so says Barry, Why can't he get 45 goats?
That's your Obama impersonation.
That's my Obama impersonation.
Why can't I get Wow.
He's like, why you folks? Where are the folks with 45 goats?
When
Where are my 45 goats? That's not good at all.
That's horrible.
Why can't anybody just get me 45 goats? Back in Hawaii, we used to take 45 goats, sacrifice a virgin, and have a fucking nice day at the baseball park.
Hello, Fiends.
Hawaii has a baseball park?
Hello, Fiends.
Hawaii has
This
lots
is
of...
Dave. I want to
I'd like to
apologize.
apologize for
It's Barry Obama.
Derogatory Barry Obama impersonation.
I didn't think it was derogatory.
I wasn't apologizing for the Obama thing. I was apologizing to the pagans.
Yes.
Hi, this is Dave.
Yes.
People against
goats. People against gay goats.
What is it? People against goodness.
Look, if you're going to give me 45 goats, you better not have any gay goats in there. Doesn't do me a bit of goddamn good.
Do they vote?
Did they vote?
I'll
Hell
take
no.
Did the gay goats vote?
Did the goats vote?
Gay goats can vote twice.
Gay votes. Gay goats.
Hello, fiends.
Man,
This
you
is
know,
Dave.
listen.
I want to apologize for.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Pedal it. You got to give out your links, Steve.
Yeah, that's right.
They're missing.
My sausage links?
Whoa, the missing
Well,
links?
hello,
Those
your
are
sausage.
mine.
Give out your sausage.
Let's see. There's Cougar, and then there's a link.
Where can we find your work, Steve?
9story.com.
Awesome.
Dan?
Works for me, too.
I don't have a page yet.
I'm working on it.
Dan's building me a page.
Yeah, that's my gift to Steve.
What's your length?
www.ninthstory.com.
Did you say length?
At
That's what I
ninthstory.com.
heard.
My length is about 12 inches.
It's like a
All right,
tuna
9.
can.
All right, 9. Yeah, www.ninthstory.com, at ninthstory.com.
It took
If you're
a turn
going
for the worst.
if you're on Twitter, it's at ninthstory. What's your Twitter, Matiko?
I have no idea.
At S_Matiko, I think.
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
That's what
I don't know. I should probably know that stuff.
Now you are
I'm sorry.
currently podcastless. Is that correct?
I am showless at the moment. And if you'd like to get in contact with me, a nice little shout out to my sister Maddie. Just Google me,
Right.
Nelson W. Pyles.
You're easy to find, sir.
I'm easier than you think.
I can see.
if you head over to wickedlibrary.com, thewickedlibrary.com, I'll direct you over to Nelson. There's a link to his page
Yes, there
and
is.
his book, Demons, Dolls, and Milkshakes.
You can also
Does he have a car?
you can go to nelsonwpiles.com. You can also check out really big
Whoa.
really
Whoa.
big
Hello.
really big book in a
Hello.
bottle from go to knocknafe.com.
Spell it.
Yeah.
Just dig the ride. I did
Knocking a what?
did
The
the
Nakafe is a rockin'. Don't
don't come a knocking. That's right.
You're knocking on the Rockefeller.
I just fucking Google me.
Stigmata Studios is proud to welcome a new sponsor, Audible.com. You can download a free audiobook. Audible has a ton of titles to choose from. Join for free today for 30 days. Pay just $14.95 as a member. Get a bestseller every month. Exchange the books that you do not love and cancel. Easy, anytime. So you can go to www.audibletrial.com/redhorseradio or follow the link in. The Abracast for this week is definitely going to not be esoteric or occult at all. It's going to be some funny outtakes from this train wreck of a podcast, everybody. So click the link, sign in the newsletter, get an autoresponder, and check out the obscure Abracast with some funny outtakes from this show, Train Derails in Pittsburgh. Thank you. Into the mic.
Sorry.
There you go.
Eat it. Put your mouth right up on that.
I know you're
fucker.
having problems keeping it erect. Or non-swivelly. I don't know. Okay.
Non-swivelly.
I think you had one of your pedals on, dude.
It's in
My apologies.
Like, God, is that you?
hello.
No, so my beef with this Mad Max thing is, nowadays in the recent past, we've divided these things up as like reboots, remakes, sequels, prequels, all that. I believe all that shit's gonna wash. Like, we're not gonna have that terminology anymore. Now it's just gonna be like, it's the new this, that, or the other thing, right? Like Batman,
I agree with that.
Batman 66, Batman 89, Batman 28 or 208 or whatever it was, right?
Sure.
So whether it's a prequel or a remake or a sequel, and another trap that they do is they get the original producers to get involved with the project, so they can be like, "No, dude, it's still pure." Like this new Poltergeist movie is still pure because Steven Spielberg produced the first one, the original one, and he's producing this one. Like, here's my thing, Steve, and I'm interested in what you have to say because I know you're a big fan of the Evil Dead movies.
Yes.
So I thought for sure that the horror community would fucking revolt about that remake. I was like, this is it. This is going to stop all the remakes, at least all the horror ones. People are going to fucking lose their shit because Ash isn't in it. And then all of a sudden they're like, no, it's kind of like a different Evil Dead. And, Sam Raimi is producing it. And everyone was like, oh, Sam Raimi's producing it. It's all going to be okay. And the revolt didn't happen. They're fucking,
It did very well.
It did good. And,
Did you see it?
I didn't support it in the theaters because I'm kind of a purist.
Sure.
But I did catch it when it got to Redbox. I think I sprung for it. I don't remember anything about it other than she was like some kind of drug addict and she ripped her arm off at the end. Like with a car door or something.
I think that was the whole, losing the hand.
Yeah, it's like the Luke Skywalker
And
syndrome.
I also read that Bruce Campbell coached her as well on set.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's some weird thing with him just at the end of the credits.
There's a post-credit scene where he's like groovy.
Yeah.
Baby. Yeah.
And they're from what I recently heard that it's a go for the Army of Darkness 2.
Well, I don't know about that. I know it's a go for the
series,
the TV show. They're making
okay, maybe that's it.
They're making an Old Man Ash TV series, Ash versus the Evil Dead or something.
Yeah,
okay.
Like that.
Well, that's good. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I'll watch it.
So really, I think the point that when I start raging about this stuff on Facebook or whatever, I think the point is, from my point of view, is they're using my nostalgia to target me. Whether it's a remake or a reboot or fucking whatever, or whoever is involved with the project. You notice they're not remaking Gone with the Wind. They're not remaking movies from the 30s.
Not yet.
Shit.
Not yet.
They're not remaking movies
Frankly,
from
Scarlett, I don't give a damn.
The remakes or anything.
Absolutely.
They're targeting stuff that already has
value.
It already has an audience who is in their demographic. So it's sure, George R. Martin or whatever the fucking guy's name is, it's I've been trying to make this movie for 20 years and now I got the funding and the
George Miller.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
My thing is well, sure, but then they there's questionable casting because I think Tom is younger than Mad Max was in the Thunderdome movie, and how does it wash? And I don't really know. But it's they're just going hey, I know that you love these movies. Google tracks everything that I watch now. That marketing data's out there, and it's a pretty good shot that if we give this guy enough money to make a property that already has a following, even though there hasn't been a new property or a new franchise from it for 20 fucking years, there's X amount of people. I'm going to shove it in my risk analysis database, and it's going to spit it out. I'm going to fucking... They know that everyone's going to go see this movie, right? It's that's the fucking thing that pisses me off about it. It's not the fact, it's not the fact that, it's not pure because whoever did it or whatever. It's the fact that I'm being picked on because of movies that I liked from my childhood. That's my thing.
I get that.
Look,
What about the new Terminator movie?
they're not. It's the same deal. I mean, it's the same
I'll tell you
argument
what,
all
the
the way
actress
across.
that's playing Linda Hamilton's character looks a lot like
Linda Hamilton.
Yeah, that was good casting.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's a whole.
I love a
different
time
thing.
travel
I have a whole
movie.
point of view on that. I do. I like the
because
idea
of the time travel thing.
I like the idea behind it. I do. For me, and I agree, John. I do agree with what you're saying. I think for me at this point, and I think a big difference because there's a lot of crap, and I agree. There's a lot of crap, but I think there's a lot of even going into the comic book genre and the movies that come out with that. Because I have kids, yeah, I'm going to go see it.
Yeah. Yeah, because...
But I end up liking it. And I don't know if that's because I'm just getting older and I don't know if I just...
testosterone levels are dropping.
Not even that. I don't know if I'm just whatever. It was entertaining. Okay.
It's where were you guys on the RoboCop remake?
That thing was just garbage.
So you saw it?
I saw it.
You spent...
I did not.
No, you spent 2 hours of your life for that?
Funny enough, I actually
he's like, funny enough, I actually watched it fast forward.
I rented
so I
it.
spent an hour in my life.
I did. I rented it through Vudu. I spent like whatever it was, like $3.99. I rented it through Vudu, and I did not pause it to get up and do other shit. So
he was washing the dishes while it was running.
Yeah, like I got up. My kid was over. I was like, all right, I got to do this.
What about you?
And I wasn't like, oh, pause. No.
What about you, Pyles?
I think it was on Netflix, so whether I watched it or not, it didn't cost me anything out of pocket. And I watched it kind of peripherally. I needed something to occupy the monkey part of my brain. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, let's fucking take a look at it. And it was, Samuel L. Jackson is furiously working at appearing in the most movies that make the most amount of money in a given clip. And it doesn't make Sam a bad guy. That makes him, I don't have to get a real job
he
forever.
Been the most entertaining part of that.
Absolutely. And it had some of it had its moments, but it's a recycled idea.
There were things in that movie that, like, I think to me, like, I looked at certain aspects of that movie, at certain aspects of the storyline that, okay, that would have been cool to see in the original, but it lacked.
Another problem that I have with those is that these movies, they still, like, especially RoboCop, is so poignant right now. Like, it's saying things about society that still matter, even though it was made back in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
So it's like pointless. It's like it's to me it's a pointless remake. And it's the same.
That is a pointless remake to me.
The same
it's
thing.
Still, the original still says something to us.
Yeah, like it still works. But I got to tell you that I've been getting these Mad Max people are like fucking Scientologists, man. They're I put something out there going. All I said was I refuse to support this Mad Max movie in the fucking movie theaters, and I've had people just go fucking crazy.
Doesn't mean you're not going to see it.
I don't want to support it in the movie theaters. I don't agree with how it's marketed to me. People are like, oh, you're a chauvinist because it has a female heroine. And I'm like, whoa, someone actually fucking said that to me. Someone that I consider a friend saying, oh, you're one of these fucking chauvinists that don't like the female character in it.
You're and like, I didn't even know that it had a female character
I was
in
like,
it.
I was like, Byron Whitten, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, Charlize Theron's in it.
But yeah, so
the thing is for me with that, here's the thing with Mad Max, and I know, like, and I read like the fucking just list of like comments, and I thought I got nothing for my comment about fucking Kevin Costner having gills. Nothing. I was like, oh, the worst part of that movie was when Kevin Costner was half fish, half man.
So you're talking about the comments that were on mine?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm done with it because. Everyone's being so fucking serious about it. And
people are like, I'm going to go and light fucking crosses in your front yard.
Knowing, John, I was going to be on your show, like I literally, that's not the word I wanted, but I did literally watch both Mad Max and I watched Road Warriors. And I watched them back to back. And those two movies don't really work. Together?
Like together?
Oh no, absolutely not.
There's a disconnection of this apocalypse.
Road Warrior was a far superior film from my point
absolutely.
of view.
Absolutely, I think it was made to be a standalone. Like it really did not work with the original. Like they had the whole flashback scene in the credits of the beginning of, but it doesn't make. There's this like they brush over this apocalypse that happens.
They're like, yeah, we don't have the budget.
Yeah,
to show
so we'll
just fucking nuclear bombs going off.
Yeah, like so they're like they showed like stock footage of like World War II.
Yeah, and and every once in a while somebody's like, "Crikey, remember when the bombs went off?"
Maybe
that's it. And
maybe that's the theme, though. Maybe
because I'm thinking in my mind, they never said that the apocalypse didn't happen in the first one. Maybe it did. I don't know, but like him and his wife are going to some pretty nice places. if there's a fucking apocalypse, they're going to the fucking beach.
And how mad
they're traveling all over the fucking place.
And really, how mad was he? It was like like perturbed Max, annoyed Max.
I mean, he was pre-Martin Riggs at that point. So I mean, really,
he was cranky Max. Is
cranky
what
Max.
He was like,
there you go, cranky Max.
I don't really know what to do.
Well, maybe
it was like twitchy Max. Twitchy Max.
Maybe maybe that's the theme, is that the movies don't really connect because the first one doesn't really connect with the second one. I don't know what
Thunderdome doesn't connect to anything.
I don't know what the Tina Turner one was all about.
Yeah, like really go back to that.
It's probably what spawned the remake. They're like, this is crap. We're gonna have to remake this.
We can't end on this Tina Turner
what's
thing.
What's the timeline there too? Because when I rented them on Vudu, I don't own them.
Okay.
But I rented them on Vudu, and like the first one is 80, and the second one's 81. So like, did they really come out that close, or was that their release to like digital format?
I don't know. Like I found
not digital format because 81. That's ridiculous. There's no such thing.
The digital.
VHS,
what does that
DVD.
mean? That's what your clock. Your
But
clock
like,
has.
it's weird to me that they were. And then Beyond Thunderdome is 84.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a gap. Yeah, I found.
Well, that was when I think they thought like, well, what we could do is because now he's Martin Riggs because he like literally left when he finished shooting Road Warriors, he went and did Lethal Weapon 1.
Right.
Yeah, and he
wanted to buy a Christmas tree,
and that was enormous. That like blew up, and yeah, he did. He bought a Christmas tree, and then he tried to buy Coke,
and then he went right. He went right from
$100.
He went right from Lethal Weapon to Bartertown.
Yeah.
I mean, and he was getting and
Mr.
at the
Raggedy
time,
Man.
and and Mel was getting a lot of different types of roles. Like he had like the Year of Living Dangerously, which was a huge critical success. Like Linda Hunt got an Academy Award, so he was making a higher quality film. And I think Australia was like, Mel, you come back home and make it.
Come home.
Okay, so all right,
that's my Australian accent.
Very good.
You know what? Victoria's not going to like that.
So let me frame the question another way, because it seems like this only happens with movies. What if someone were to be like, "Hey, guess what? I'm going to rewrite Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas."
Right. I was gonna make that comparison.
Go fuck yourself.
People would be lighting themselves on fire to protest that.
They would be lighting other people on fire.
Well,
to
and
protest
that's the thing with that film. That film is so almost identical to the book.
Yeah, it is really close.
I don't know how you could do it any different unless you just.
Well, it's like, no. Just do it like
Good point, though.
Well, do it like they do the movies. We're going to bring it to a current. It's going to take place in 2015. We're going to change the body types of all the characters. Now it's 2015, so we can't have the hard drug usage.
Yeah,
we can't have the Samoan humor.
No,
we can't.
Yeah, it's like I was driving through the desert in the big, the big red shark, and it's like a fucking hybrid.
Yeah, right.
And he's drinking like a double espresso shot latte.
He's got like a Bud Light or something. Like, but that's the kind of thing that fucking pisses me off, right?
He's got the cigarette holder with a fucking e-cigarette in it.
E-cigarette in it.
Yeah, he's vaping. He's vaping instead.
An e-cigarette in his cigarette holder.
I'm vaping.
Now.
What's my
It's all
vaping
just
cigarette into the USB port?
It's all
What
just
the hell do you mean I can't vape in here?
I don't think that movie would have. I don't know.
Well, I'm talking about I'm talking about rewriting the book.
The book.
Oh, the book.
Like a remake of the book. If somebody did that, they would shit blood and raise the streets.
That would
never
actually
fucking
be
sell.
The question would actually be why? Why?
Well,
why are you doing like
right? So, but we don't ask that question when we're talking about movies
No.
because it's for the money. But say it like I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna
Very interesting, John. It's very interesting.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna rewrite Jane Austen. I'm gonna rewrite a Jane Austen book, and I'm gonna make it current.
But they've done that.
I know. That's why I brought that particular one up, because they did Tale of Two Cities,
Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
But like, what if I was like, I really want to talk about Christmas in London currently, so I'm going to rewrite Charles Dickens.
And that happens constantly.
It does? People rewrite Charles Dickens books?
Well, in books, it's like, oh, well, this is like a modern retelling. They call it, with cover songs with like your favorite song. It's like, well, this is a different read of this song. So it's like, I'm going to, rock and roll all night, party every day by fucking Toad the Wet Sprocket. It's like, fucking really? And that actually happened.
Toad the Red Sprocket.
That
is tremendous that you even said that.
It was for a Kiss tribute album or something, right? Yeah.
We used to call them Load the Wet Blanket. But yeah, I had like Lenny Kravitz and did Deuce with Stevie Wonder. But I mean, that's a really valid point. It's like they remake fucking songs all the time and nobody loses their shit except people like, wow, what the hell is that person doing singing this song? Movies, but they don't do it with books. And it does happen here and there, and people just kind of like, oh, okay. But if you did a complete word for word situational rewrite of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Or let's say, I want to update Carrie, but I want to do it in written form.
Right.
Stephen King would sue the shit out of the entire state you live in.
And well, not only that. Let's say there was some kind of legal loophole. How many Stephen King fans would buy that book just on the fact that it was Carrie? None of them.
I think they'd buy it just to trash it.
Dean Koontz does Stephen King.
Well,
I think it's different.
Anyway.
I think it's but I mean, I think it's different. I think it's different if it's a tribute.
Well, right. Well, here's the thing. There's a very thin. Just as there is a thin line. Would you?
I lost everything.
I'll wait till you come back. Just as there is a thin line between clever and stupid, there's a thin line between paying homage to something and pissing all over it like a drunk yard cat.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you're like if somebody
like Rob Zombie did with Halloween 2.
Right, exactly. It's like, this is a retelling.
But John makes a really good point. It's totally different in how we look at movies versus written form. Like, it's okay to remake X movie, but if you went to rewrite X book, people would lose their shit.
Absolutely, and it's not like it's like, it's okay if give me a bad John Grisham's version of The Stand, but it's okay because Steve is okay with it.
Yeah,
like
no, fuck you.
No, Steve wrote the foreword. He loves it. He
thinks
awesome.
It's great. Steve also has more money than God.
Well, and here's the thing: why do they only remake good movies?
I would like to see.
That's not entirely true.
Well, listen though. Look at.
They've remade some.
That would make more sense if you remade a shitty movie.
Right.
Okay, this is shitty. Let's make it good now.
But like the second Star Trek movie that came out, the new one, the second, the reboot or whatever, the Heart of Darkness or whatever.
About Darkness, yeah.
And I'm like, why would you bother remaking Wrath of Khan? That's the best Star Trek movie ever made. Ever.
Absolutely.
And pissed on it like a drunk yard cat.
If you're going to remake a Star Trek movie, why don't you redo the motion picture? Like that
would
be fucking awesome.
Or what the fifth one, the one that Shatner did,
where he finds God or something.
Yeah,
that was Cybok.
Cybok. Yeah, Bill, go sit down.
Cybok these nuts.
Why does God need a starship?
What? My God doesn't need a starship. So that's my question. And like, we're only talking about this because I got fucking lambasted on Facebook, and I just kind of wanted to bring it up and talk to.
And honestly, I think the way you, I think the way you did it should not have irked that many people because it was like, I'm just not going to support it.
Yeah.
Sometimes what I will say, John, though, is sometimes you come at it like, I'm not going to. And if I feel like, I'm probably going to go see it.
You're like, so is he secretly calling me a chump?
Sometimes I want to message you to the side, John. I'm going to go see that. So,
John's secret formula is every once in a while he says something just to be contrary.
As far as the movie aspect goes, I think, and that's where I'm. As far as that goes, like, and again, it is a product, and I'm going to blame my children.
I think
for a lot of things.
I blame your children too.
You should. They're horrible children. No, but like, there's a lot of stuff that
everyone blames Steve's
that
children.
I wouldn't normally go see. Like, I'm not going to go see that on my own. Like, I can't believe they did this or did that. But I'll see it, and then I'll be like, it wasn't bad.
Well, see, that's what I mean. Like, that's them talking to your nostalgia. Like, that's them saying, "Hey, wouldn't you really love to share this with your kids? Do you remember when you discovered this movie?"
Yeah. Mining your childhood.
Yeah.
Right.
So
absolutely.
It's like, okay, so Steve, have you introduced your kids to Star Wars?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so how did you do
There's
it?
a big cock coming out of an asteroid.
That's not how I introduced Star Wars. I just want to go on the record.
Listen
That's
to the other Abracasts, and you'll find out why.
So did you do episode 1, 2, 3, episode 4, 5, 6?
No. I started with 4.
Okay, so you did 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
My children
Had to
know
see it
that
the way I saw it.
4, 5, and 6 exist, but
they've never seen it?
No. Absolutely not.
Wait, they know that 1, 2, and 3 exist?
No, they know 1, 2, and 3 exist, but I've driven it into them. It's like it'll ruin everything.
4, 5, and 6 is
unfortunately
now 7, 8, and
son.
9. Are you taking your kids to see 7?
Absolutely, because I think one of the coolest things and maybe it's just because I'm getting sentimental in my age, and I have children that love the shit out of Star Wars. Yeah. They're going to be able to see a new Star Wars movie
for the first time.
Approximately around the same age I was when the first movie came out.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to see it with them. I mean, the coolest fucking thing that happened as a geeky parent was watching The Empire Strikes Back, and Darth Vader's like, "No, I'm your father," and watching my kids.
I wouldn't be able to watch the TV. I just want to watch them.
That's what I did, and I looked at both of them, and both of their eyes got big,
and their jaws dropped.
Same thing. My son's like,
what? Yeah, and it was fucking. You know, they talk about the magic of movies and shit. That was fucking amazing. Yeah. And it is,
honest to God,
and it's like a little notch on the belt. Like, that's the coolest thing.
Well, you know, the cool thing about the new movies is that Disney is a buffer for Lucas's late life madness.
No, Lucas is Lucas out of the fucking loop.
Fucking crazy.
Okay, well,
the worst thing that ever happened with the original three the first three that he went back and finally did, is that he directed them.
Well, that was the worst thing in the world.
He directed two of them. He directed the first one and the last one.
He's a great idea man. He is a fucking poor director.
Best thing that ever happened with Empire Strikes Back is he didn't direct it.
Yes,
Kirshner.
Exactly.
All right, so I need just to back everyone up. This is not a Star Wars podcast.
No. Hi, Frank Fiends. This is Dave. Just want to apologize. This is not.
Welcome to the
This is not a
Abercast.
Star Wars thing. We'll talk about that.
It is a very cool thing, and that is an awesome thing to go see a new Star Wars for the first time with my kid.
See, this is where my theory or my philosophy not literally in the ass, but it fucks me, right? Because I'm like, in all honesty, all the shit I just said about remakes and new properties apply to this new Star Wars movie. But I'm probably going to go see it.
And that's just being a fan.
I think Disney is the buffer. I mean, like, they know what we want.
Yeah.
And Abrams is a big Star Wars fan. That's probably the best thing for these movies.
Star Trek.
It's Star Wars.
I mean, that was apparent.
Yeah.
It's a
Star Wars. He wanted to make a Star Wars movie.
It was like, hey, this is my demo reel for next Star
Wars. Exactly right. It's a Star Wars
let
movie.
Let me direct Star Wars
for Star Wars fans by a Star Wars fan.
Right.
Like that scene where the Star Destroyer is crashed in the desert.
Yeah.
That's a total fan scene.
Yeah. The another movie that I had this dilemma with was Godzilla. Whereas like that would have been the same fucking thing, except I was like, no, like, so now what I'm doing is I'm studying the degrees of fanhood that I subscribe myself to, and if I'm at a 9 or 10, I'll break my rule. If I'm like, I've seen this movie, I like it.
What did you think of Godzilla?
Oh, I loved it, man.
Yeah,
I thought
awesome.
I thought it was great.
It's exactly what it should be.
Yeah,
I think it really matters, like, who is making the movie, who's directing it, who's producing
it.
Is that person a fan?
I think that's
because if they're a fan, they're going to do it right.
I think that Godzilla movie is a good point, though, because they kept it very. They could have just had Godzilla,
right?
Like Matthew Broderick's.
Yeah.
Piece of shit movie that was out. But
when everyone was shitting on the movie and they're like, no, they have all this human stuff in there and it gets a little bit boring sometimes. I'm like, that's what the old fucking movies were.
He exactly absolutely shows up at the end.
When I was a kid, I would nap during those parts.
And he looked fucking And
then when I heard
important.
And then when I heard the I would wake up and be like, hey, I can pay attention.
Which is also my alarm. That's my alarm.
That's fantastic.
But and he looked awesome.
Yeah.
When you puke down another monster's throat.
What I liked about that movie is,
of course, like 2 monsters in a cup.
When Godzilla was Mothra was in that. She won't comment.
Oh, fucking hell.
But the best part of that movie is when Mr. White, when he almost was going to get busted, and then Godzilla showed up, and then Jesse was like,
and they were all in their hazmat suits.
Like, yeah, Godzilla, bitch.
Yeah, bitch. I'm Godzilla.
I think what I think there was a lot of redemption to be had with this Godzilla film because he's fucked it so royally.
Yeah,
I was in a convention in the '90s when Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich pissed all over the Legend for their American version of it. Mm-hmm. And the worst thing in the world, actually the best thing that happened at the thing is like, is this movie going to suck like Independence Day did? Are we done?
No.
What? Oh, you were like...
He was just asking me what the timestamp was.
Oh, okay. And again, like the fans making it. Now, this is kind of the Godzilla film, and I loved it. I thought it was great. But that's a touchy thing for me, is why we feel like we need to remake a movie that's from another country. But
that's not new. Like The Ring.
No, that's what I'm talking about. There was no fucking reason for that. I mean, and it was a good, plausible version. Okay, it was a good version of the movie. But it wasn't fucking necessary.
Have you ever seen Vanilla Sky?
Yes.
It's like a shot-for-shot remake of that. Yeah.
And Abra los Soldiers is a better film, period. I don't care. You're Tom
correct.
Cruise. Like, I fucking adore... I adore that movie. And like Vanilla Sky, I'm like, why are you pissing on this?
That's a big Gnostic movie.
Let the Right One In. Anybody see that?
Yeah.
They did a remake a year fucking later. It's like, why?
Well, The Grudge they did that to The Grudge too. Like Sam Raimi was like, I love this movie so much, I'm gonna fucking steal it, and I'm gonna put Sarah Michelle Gellar in it, and it's gonna be awesome.
You want to know the best part? You want to know the best part of that movie? The best part of that? The director of. Yeah, I did that to my sister, scared the piss out of her. And they let the fucking cats out, which was the creepiest shit for me. But the director that directed the original version of The Grudge remade that movie like 8 times in different fucking languages. It's like, really, man? Fucking just write something new.
They can't.
Write the not The Grudge.
Now, I will tell you this. I just watched this movie, and I loved it. And this is something new. It was They Follow.
I heard that was
It Follows.
I heard it was a cool kind of throwbacky kind of movie.
I loved every aspect of this movie, and only because it reminded me of Phantasm. There's no explanation.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the old school horror movies. Like, we don't
why'd this happen? Because fuck you.
Yeah,
that's why.
that's right. And that's a conversation.
If you want to know, read the fucking book. Like,
I would love to have that conversation with anyone about Phantasm, because what the fuck was that really about?
I don't know. There's like weird Jawas and a flying Cuisinart. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they try to explain shit later in some really like Sci-Fi Channel remake, like sequels. But like, really, the first I like to go back.
Reggie's Judge was like my fucking dream car.
Oh shit!
Fucking man!
In the second one,
I think he had it in 2 of them.
He had it in the first and second. Well, one of the Baldwins replaced the main dude in the second one. I'm not kidding.
There's like 10 of them.
And the second one wasn't bad, but it was like a mainstream. But it still made no sense. Like,
that was one of those ones where there's like 10 years between.
Yeah.
Like they waited like a real long time to get the money together or something.
But like, It Follows was really good in that aspect. And me and my wife were watching it, and we're trying to. I'm like, what fucking time is this? In the 80s or 90s? And I think purposely they filmed shit to be like, well, that looks like it's like 1983.
Yeah.
And then they were like in cars that look like 1992. I think they bounced it on purpose.
I think you're going to see a lot more than that because of our personal technology.
Yeah.
It is going to make it like way harder to create a situation of peril. Like, if a stalker is locked in your house with you, like, where's your fucking iPhone? You know what I mean?
Love it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, and I don't know if you know anything about that movie, and I don't want to give it away.
Don't spoil anything.
I don't want to spoil it, but just I tell you what it.
Yeah,
the whole point of the movie is that, and this is again a throwback to early horror movies. It's a sexually transmitted demon. You have to have sex with somebody, and then it attaches itself to them
and
lets you go.
But then if it kills them, it comes back to that person, to that person, and that person.
And so on, and so on, and so on.
It's just awesome.
Yeah.
It was done well. It was. I really enjoyed it. I recommend it.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to checking it out. So the thing that we were just talking about the time ambiguity, where you're not really sure. I call that the Napoleon Dynamite effect. Because you never fucking really know when
the hell is this going on?
Because you're like, they have the internet, but like,
but his boots, those boots he wears, I had those in junior high.
Right. Okay, so I think we're going to really wrap it up unless anyone has anything more terribly interesting to say about remakes.
No. And I will end it with this, John. We a little bit back and forth about the new Avengers, and
Oh, cool.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with that.
Yeah, I saw it over the weekend.
Yeah, which
Very,
I thought it was
pretty
cool.
I think the way they did. I think Vision was the Fonzie for me.
That was
fucking
like
great.
I told John, I said I was really worried about the Ultimate Scarlet Witch, and I was really worried about the Vision because that they haven't had anything that
It's so
super powered.
It's such a weird fucking idea.
It just worked.
Yeah.
I love that he picked up Thor's hammer and there's.
But I will say
that was the best.
Whedon, man.
Spoiler alert!
The dialogue, just even the dialogue throughout that movie, and Hawkeye, he really gave him that Hawkeye.
They certainly made up enough for what they did to him in the first.
Absolutely,
they kind of owed him for fucking him.
Even just with that boom. Mind control, been there, done that.
Yeah.
Like that was awesome, and the whole comment too. Like I laughed I missed like 2 scenes because I laughed when he was like, "I know this is good. I have a bow and arrow,
and I'm going back out there."
That makes sense. So, okay, well, the Abercast for this week is definitely going to not be esoteric or occult at all. It's going to be some funny outtakes from this train wreck of a podcast, everybody. So click the link, sign in the newsletter, get an autoresponder, and check out the obscure Abercast with some funny outtakes from this show, Train Derails in Pittsburgh. Thank you. To the last Abercast, I explained through the topology of the symbols in Empire Strikes Back that Han and Leia did in fact get it on in the asteroid field. So yeah. So
hey, baby.
If the Falcon is a rockin',
don't come a knockin'.
Yeah, baby. You're gonna love me, baby.
You got to give out your links, Steve.
Yeah, that's right.
They're missing.
My sausage links?
Whoa, the missing links?
Hello, your sausage. Give out your sausage.
Let's see. There's Cougar, and then there's a link.
Where can we find your work, Steve?
9story.com.
Awesome.
Dan?
Works for me, too.
I don't have a page yet.
I'm working on it.
Dan's building me a page.
Yeah, that's my gift to Steve.
What's your length?
www.ninthstory.com.
Did you say length?
At ninthstory.com. My length is about 12 inches.
It's like a
All right,
touring
9.
can.
All right, 9. Yeah, www.ninthstory.com, at ninthstory.com. If you're going on Twitter, it's at ninthstory. What's your Twitter, Matiko?
I have no idea.
At S_Matiko, I think.
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
That's what
I don't know. I should probably know that stuff.
Now you are
I'm sorry.
currently podcastless. Is that correct?
I am showless at the moment. Mm-hmm. And if you'd like to get in contact with me, a nice little shout out to my sister Maddie. Just Google me.
Right.
Nelson W. Pyles.
You're easy to find, sir.
I'm easier than you think.
I can see
if you head over to wickedlibrary.com, thewickedlibrary.com, I'll direct you over to Nelson. There's a link to his page.
Yes, there is.
And his book, Demons, Dolls, and Milkshakes.
You can also
Does he have a car?
You can go to nelsonwpyles.com. You can also check out really big big book in a bottle go to knocknafe.com.
Spell it.
Yeah.
Just dig the ride. I did
knocking a what?
The Knockafe is a rockin'. Don't
come a knocking. That's right.
You're knocking on the Rockafe.
Just fucking Google me.
Congratulations, you survived another episode of Red Horse Radio. Please subscribe to the show, friend it, like it, share it on your social media. Feel free to tweet me at JONNYAXX. You can also feel free to drop me an email, towers113@gmail.com. Until next week.